We're on to our fifth game. Indonesia lead 3-1 against the Filipinos. And they're not looking so great, are they, Saint?
No, that was rough to see. And I think that was the opportunity, really, for the Philippines to turn the series around. I'm expecting this fifth match. I think I could sort of go to like an 83% chance right now for the Indonesians to finish off because of what we saw in Erangel and Miramar. We're going back to Erangel now. And the fact that we've seen so much dominance from Indonesia on the sort of traditional maps, I think means that we come into this match
deep.
now.
We're on to our fifth
really
game. Indonesia lead
3-1
against
them to sneak it to map 6 and maybe map 7.
And they're not looking so great, are they?
We said at the start that that was rough to see. And I think that was the opportunity. Around. I'm expecting one on this fifth match. I think I could sort of throw it to like an 83% chance right now for the Indonesians to finish off because of what we saw in Erangel and Miramar. We're going back to Erangel now. And the fact that we've seen so much dominance from Indonesia on the sort of traditional maps, I think means that we come into this match now really expecting them to just close it out here. There is still an opportunity for them to sneak it to map 6 and maybe map 7. I mean, we said at the start that the Philippines really needed to take Vikendi, Sanok, and then sneak one of the Erangel and Miramar matches. Now they just need to do one on Erangel and Miramar, which definitely possible. They just ran in one by one instead.
Yeah, well,
if they just waited for each other, they could have taken the 20 versus 10 gunfight.
But
potentially closed that out, and instead of being
I'm
10
quite
men
disappointed
down,
with their performance in the last game. You're right, they didn't commit enough people to the fight, and at the end it looked like they very much gave up.
50-50.
And maybe it's time to question the commander whether he is suitable to
game. I like the decision to take the gunfight. I just think they did it so badly. Like they had 3 groups converging within about 30 seconds of each other, and they all just ran in one by one instead. If they just waited for each other, they could have taken a 20 versus 10 gunfight, potentially closed that out, and instead of being 10 men down within about 3 minutes, 3-4 minutes, they could have been in a pretty much 50-50 position, coming into that phase 2, potentially even closed out that game and put it to 2-2.
TD, however, still topping Indonesia and topping the entire leaderboard with 12 kills. Let's see how much more he can mount up as we fly over Erangel for the last time in this series from the bottom left, the south, west, going towards the northeast over Stalba.
Happens like 5-10% of the time.
A lot of reds jumping out quite early, no blues yet.
If they can take the positioning like that again, I think the win condition here for the Philippines is keeping all their players alive in that phase 1, because I think on both Miramar Myanmar, actually, they had the man advantage screen face too, but on Erangel last time, we saw them lose that big group in the apartments area. I just want to see them stay alive, play a little bit more reserved in those early circles. And yes, last time at Erangel, they got those strong positions and then got really unlucky with this shift. But realistically, that shift happens like 5-10% of the time. And in all the other circles, they would have won that match. So if they can take the positioning like that again, and also come in with the majority of their team, not being 4 or 5 players down, there is a possibility they can still take this map. But
it's perfect.
I want to say, based off what I've seen, but I just don't see it happening.
Nice, even, well, I wouldn't say even split, but a split now. You can see.
What is he doing?
Not aggressing. Clean entry to it. Completely not aggressing the drop zones of Indonesia. Apart from one, the one that we've seen. The red light went on to jump and he chose not to. Disobeying orders. Court martial is incoming. Pretty bad start.
I love how the Indonesian players with like a question mark in the middle of the map, and he's right in the middle of it. It's perfect. Throw us all the way back to what I said at the start of the game with Defiant,
putting a lot of hope here for the circle
we spoke about the importance of keeping the good players alive.
And if it does, they've got a clean entry to it. And in fact, all their team is there. And yeah, there we go.
Ryzen, we've seen
someone that we've seen
just like why? 5 or 6 knocks.
Well,
he has a big impact in the gunfight.
And pretty bad start already for the Philippines, losing one player very early on.
Like that,
and
it's more like losing 2 or 3. And throw us all the way back to what I said at the start of the game with Defiant on the Indonesian team, where we spoke about the importance of keeping the good players alive. In this circle now, those players, yes, it's just going to. It's specifically about Defiant, about how he was the IGL. But Ryzen as a player, we've seen have a lot of impact in the game. Yes, they lost the last one, but he had 5 or 6 knocks. He has a big impact.
A lot clearer to see how this game's going to be going once we see the next circle pop. Compounds that you suggested. A rotation happening through military onto a more favourable side of that circle rather than going through hidden from the Indonesian players at the lead. But nonetheless, Indonesia, to an extent, yes, because they need to learn from their past mistakes, which is, doesn't matter how late you are to the circle, you can still win.
chest. Pride make a dumb man flex, but take time to get test. You don't wanna make man vex. You don't wanna make man vex. You don't wanna make man vex. You don't wanna make man flex. Make man to fake the chest. You don't wanna make man vex. You don't wanna make man vex. You don't wanna make man flex. Make man to fake the chest. More time I'm calm. You don't wanna get me angry. Got a tool for the man who's screwed. Don't make it come in handy. Everyone want beat by the beach now, reach where the sun and it's sandy. But those who can't, they get hurt, then hate, then grind like a pansy. And that's cool, but I stay over there. Window to the wall, yeah, way over there. Cause my guys don't play over here. Make a man say touche over here. And it's start getting wet overstairs. And that's not about a female set over glares. You break down what the beef's about. My guys will be like, who cares? Cause we don't deal with the talk thing. Less it's money you're talking. And I ain't on about no phone bill. Plus we're more about walking. Still can't stand man walking. Man know that we're also flying. Still ain't trying to catch no bird. All off catching an eye. All blessed every man's yours. Only want a bird that soars. Every effect has a cause. Know when it rains it pours. Man won't push out the chest. Pride make a dumb man flex. But take time to get test. You don't wanna make man vex. You don't wanna make man vex. You don't wanna make man vex. You don't wanna make man flex. Make man to fake the chest. You don't wanna make man vex. You don't wanna make man vex. You don't wanna make man flex. Make man to fake the chest.
Welcome back. Nothing cool to say because I said it before. We just have to remake the game. So we're going to be going back into a wrangle. It's Indonesia versus Philippines. If you're just tuning in, Philippines are down. Indonesia are leading the series 3-1. This is the final game for them to take victory and go for vindication against Thailand in the finals for the GLL Nations Royale Asia. My name is Taha. I'm joined by Saint, and we're bringing you all the action. And this might be it. This might be it for the Filipino Saint.
Yeah, and the one saving grace to the Philippines and that is that the circle was a little bit rough for them. You know, it wasn't impossible for them to get in, but Indonesia definitely had the easier path to get in. So the fact that we're starting again, maybe it's going to help them, maybe not. We'll see. But here we go. We're in the game already. So a speedy one. It looks like the Philippines are going to commit to the western side, which is what they did last time. You know what they did on the game that got remade. So it's sort of going for the same split again. It looks like a couple of the Indonesian players are going to stay in the plane a little bit later, though, and maybe go towards mini base.
Well, yeah, it does look like that indeed. You can see the plane is vastly different from the last game. Starting in the north, they're going right the way down to the south, and Indonesia, they are going to opt to take control of a middle base. Might have watched the replay of the last game, saw the rotation coming in, and decided, actually, yeah, tell you what, let's cut them off at checkpoints.
It's also... we've seen in the past where the team that gets control of Billy Base, when it shifts down there, just win. I remember, I think it was Hungary versus Poland in EMEA, where Hungary had, I think, 8 players that landed on the military island, and then it shifted there. And I think it was something like 28-0. And Poland couldn't find a way in.
And then we go.
And I think it was something like 28-0. That's a circle that's favouring Philippines for sure, but it's a pretty even one. I want to see Philippines now for sure, come sort of to the west of Gatka. I want to see Philippines now. We should be about like a radio tower. Sort of to the west of Gatka. A little compound on the hill southwest of radio tower. And maybe the area is sort of the northwest. If they can just control that field on the sort of the western central area of the circle, they should be in a good position because historically that's where the circle will be going. They should be in a
pushes to happen, and it happens. And taking stuff by it's this Filipinos game happen, and it happens. And they can't make any mistakes from here on out. And if they do want to carry on, they can't make any mistakes from here on out. Smell. If they do want to carry on, the finals are like. Oh well, smell. Just looking up finals are like.
I think really here, like I sort of said at the start of the game, the early game is going to be really important for the Philippines. They need to make sure all their players survive. Make sure they get into the circle and get a half-decent position. Yeah, just play a little bit more reserve, play a little bit passive, and sort of force the Indonesians to make a play. Because I think if we go back to the previous Oracle game, where if the circle had gone anywhere except the West, Indonesia would have had to go for like a low percentage crash on a compound. And we almost saw it happen on the twin compound, just southeast of Stauber, where the Indonesians almost crashed it and then changed their mind at the last second. And I think if you can force them to go for those sort of positions, where they panic crash something, yes, that is normally the strategy for the teams attacking to find a way into the circle. But it also puts you in a position where you can get like 6 or 7 kills pretty easily, and maybe swing the game in your favor. So I just want to see them set up in the circle, create a bit of a trap for the Indonesians and lock them out of the good positions, and then get towards that phase 4 with 30 alive, and then there's an opportunity where they can win this and go to that map 5, and then there's an opportunity where they can win this and go to that map 5.
Let's see what the Filipino commander has in his playbook for a circle like this. Very stacked up there in Georgia Pole. That's a lot of players. I don't know if there's enough loot. You've got the apartment building. A lot of players. Just about enough loot. For them to all be geared up, but definitely not at the state of level 2s and level 3s.
Like we said with Severny last game, there's not many cars either. They're going to have, North Georgia is pretty infamous for having really bad car spawns. So there's one hard spawn normally, but we're not in esports mode, so that's not there. So there's one hard spawn. Maybe you'll get one to the east, but realistically, there's just not many cars in North Georgia. There's some potential that maybe 6-7 players of this team that are up in North Georgia
See a couple of players from Indonesia unable to find vehicles exiting at Roshog going towards the water town.
He's Austin Powers it. He's Austin Powers it. Oh no, he's Austin Powers it. He's Austin Powers it. Oh no. There we go.
Oh God, definitely of.
There we go.
Oh God, definitely of.
Oh, I'm gone. He's given up. Has he crashed? Oh, I'm gone. He's given up. I think he might have actually.
No.
I think he might have actually.
No. He's lagging.
He's making it look like he was laggy as an excuse.
I was going to say, definitely not part of driving. Wonder what his art's like, though. You can see.
Well, if there's anything like that, not great. I suppose that was performative art.
Performative. Contemporary art.
That was abstract performance. But yeah, we look at this and we said we want to see Philippines get a bit of control, go early, and they're just not doing that. And there's an opportunity, there's a timing here where the Indonesian team could push in, a spearhead through their Gaka area and take really nice control of the area before Philippines come down.
See, I even said they might get baited by taking Everest because it's so close to them and it's just a big monument in the middle of this circle. But they haven't even done that, Saint. And Indonesia have managed to make their way up and grab some ground on Everest. And if the entirety of Indonesia can do this, they stop the Philippines from even advancing into the circle.
Yeah, I think it's very rare that you want to take Everest as a sort of position to play late game. But once you get control of the hilltop, you can see probably 90% of this circle. And then you can go, that compound's clear, that compound's clear, that compound's clear, and then just move your whole team in. So this sort of spearhead by Indonesia to get control of the peak of Everest is going to be, I think, really influential on the way this game plays out.
Yeah, because they get it, they get all the information on Georgia Pole, and they'll realize
they now know they're all there.
Very soon they are all there once the bullet starts flying, and you can see the bullets are flying in the general direction of Everest, where the players are, but none of them are hitting currently. And Jam, he's backing out, and I feel like Philippines are shooting themselves in the foot by retreating here. They need to make a rotation. They need to make it now.
10 seconds until phase 2, and this is where we're going to see, has this sort of luck paid off and we get like a nice northern shift here? Or does the fact that they've just got no presence really towards that field? Ooh, I'm not liking that if I'm Philippines. As now all of a sudden Everest does become a really strong position. I expect, because this circle's gone quite east, we're sort of going to end maybe on the southern side of Everest, right? You know, in the little forest to the south of it, maybe sort of the northeast of Gaka. That's the sort of area you want to be setting up around. And by having so many players on Everest now, it becomes really hard for the Filipino players to get anywhere near there, because you drive close and your car just gets blown up. So I'm really not liking this if I'm on the Filipino team, and I'm loving it if I'm Indonesian.
The Indonesian military force, they're coming in. They spotted out a little rotating force from the Philippines in the south there, so that will be passed up the ranks to the commander, and they just need to know to watch out. But look at this. They've just got everyone and their nans and their cats and their dogs up on that mountain, just praying, hoping that they can hit some shots. But nonetheless, they've got the best position for them in this circle, considering where the Filipinos are.
I just don't understand the mindset of let's just keep our team in North George. I mean, they should have known that. I mean, they would have known that the southwest of that circle was pretty much empty because the way the plane was. You know, they know roughly where the Indonesians land. So they should have known that rotation was possible and that they could have filled more areas.
Oh, wow.
The perfect scouting vehicle. But that's like a 1 HP now. So his own team shooting him.
Is that?
His own team shooting him. Oh, no. Oh, that's right. The captain's being shot by his own team. But he's going to land it, though. The good thing about the glides is they don't blow up in the air, so you can land them safely. As long as these players don't shoot him out of it. Because obviously if he falls, he's going to die. But no, he's going to be okay. Sort of. The worst landing I've ever seen. His landing just bounced. But yeah, I mean, I just don't understand there's 3 of them, Matt. I've seen better landings, but at least his Uber's arrived. Could have been worse. He didn't get killed by his team. And now this circle, I mean, you just look at the control that Indonesia has now. Yes, the Philippines can sort of fill the western side and maybe wrap towards Gatka, but you're expecting that the circle now will sort of come either central or slightly east towards Indonesia. Historically, that's where it will go. You do occasionally see those sort of northwestern finishes, sort of between where Akko is and the Indonesian team. So there's a potential that the Philippines get a nice shift. I mean, we go back to the previous Erangel game, where Philippines had so much control of the map, and then there was that nice shift, you know, that favoured the Indonesians. Maybe this time we'll see it go the other way around. But realistically, you can't be banking on that if you're the Philippines. You need to, I think here, you need to not necessarily take a gunfight, but you need to sort of take some presence towards Everest, maybe get around on the foothills.
Look at how much information
and get a bit of
getting from this position.
Yeah.
Just they're seeing all the rotations, and it looks like Philippines, they've got themselves radio tower, but I don't think that's a good spot considering it's a lot lower than what Everest is currently. You can see MC Tracker slowly climbing Everest. It could be the dagger in the back that Philippines need for the way this game is playing out. But one man, we've seen time and time again, just not enough. Indonesia still doing the little killing spree on their own teammates. And now we see Philippines, they've got no choice. They have to take the fight on Everest. But look at this L defense coming out by Indonesia. They've spotted exactly where the Philippines are, and they've got their defense set up perfectly.
And once again, it kind of feels like the Philippine team's not really on the same wavelength. You know, we see all these different groups doing different things. Some of them are setting up on the west side. Some of them, like 3 or 4 players, are pushing up Everest. And they just need to do something together. You know, I think sometimes it's not about saying, finding the perfect thing to do. It's about doing it as a team, right? If you send 20 players up Everest, yes, you're going to lose a few of them. But there's only, 8 Indonesian players up there. Eventually, you can just overwhelm the defense. And it does sort of feel like they're doing that. But because they have so many players on the western side, you limit how many players you can get up this hill. And maybe push it to a point where it's too late. But this circle now, we have gone east. As we said, this is the sort of area we're expecting it to end in.
There's a crash coming into Gatka down there in the south. Meanwhile, the push is coming in onto Everest. We've got some US Navy SEAL stuff going on as MC Tracker manages to make his way up. Tiju finds one on top of the hill. Ainsley manages to get the trade in, and while Tiju falls, eventually his DK Bull is there to reply. We've got enough players now on Everest to make this push worth it. And you can see the Philippines, they've got some knocks. Mind you, knocking their own teammate in the process, but still, it might be worth.
And this is where we need to see the Philippines just converge on this area, push it, and overwhelm the few Indonesian players here, because it's an opportunity. They can push a man advantage in their favour by just wiping out the players on top of the hill. And yes, it becomes a bit difficult to run down, but if you have like a 4 or 5 player man advantage, it's pretty easy to do. So the Philippines need to just collapse on this. And I want to see a bit of reinforcement coming from Indonesia, recognizing that the vast majority of the Filipino players are up here. Just collapse on it. Get all your players up here and just take this gunfight. Because if you can win this out, if you can stop the Philippines from getting any control of Everest, then you can just win this game straight up.
It's really hard to see. You just got the front line. Philippines looks like they've got the top of the mountain right now and they're pushing their way back. But look at the kill feed coming in for Indonesia. RDK and Ain't Zani managing to just stop the forces. Eventually, cars running down the hill. You don't want that. I feel like Indonesia have recognized the force and they are investing a lot more players here. But Edv King, it is just a shooting range for these guys up here on the hill. Indonesia, they're holding it. It's 27-23. Maybe... will he fall? We don't know. That's the name of the game. And that's his name right there. C1 Moy. I just get an insane spray down.
This was such a perfect counter by Indonesia. They saw that the Philippines wanted to get control of the hill. And, they sent, I think, 20, maybe 25 players up there to try and take it. And Indonesia just reinforced the position, just sent so many players up there and turned it into such a difficult fight for the Philippines to take. And because there was those little pockets of Filipino players still out on the western side, not involved in the fight, the fact that the majority of the Indonesian team, you look at that, there's only, 7 Indonesian players that didn't get involved on that hilltop? Yeah. The fact that they sent so many players to that hilltop means that they were just able to out-trade the fight. And suddenly they've got a 9-player man advantage.
This team at the back, they're getting rinsed. It was their opportunity to come in and really disrupt the back line.
Where's the trade?
Engaging, but there's no trade. It's all just going down. Okay, finally, the trade comes in, but it might be far too late.
It is.
Players are here. There we go. Yeah.
There's no might be there. There's no might be. It is too late. I mean, just right there. There's 2 people there for Philippines. One guy gets knocked, and the other guy just stays prone. Just doesn't do anything, and then he just gets killed by someone else. Like he needs in that position, you always need to be trading. Like that's the number one fundamental rule of Nations Royale: is you need to be trading knocks. And now, I just don't see a way that this Filipino team, with what we've seen, the lack of team play, the lack of coherence on the team. I just don't see a way they make a comeback here.
Comebacks are the story that makes dreams possible, but it's 24 for 11, so this dream is more like a nightmare if you're...
It's a pan kill. Oh, no.
Yeah, maybe he gets the pan kill, finishing off.
That's when you know it's going badly. And then now they're just getting picked off one by one, and there's just...
they're running it down mid. That's what they're doing. They're just running it down mid.
This is the ego play by Indonesia to just end the game here. Get rid of the remnants of the Filipino force. And I mean, yeah, it's just it's all about how long you can survive. I think those nades are pretty much bang on. Yeah, he's going to get one. Should be able to get the second one with the second nade, I think, as well. And he gets a knock with the AR, or the DMR, rather. It's all skewed at this point. It's now about how many kills can you get before you die, rather than can you win this out. There's another kill, and there's just no return. None of the Filipino players are getting involved, having an impact. Yeah, finally we get a knock. Finally a couple going their way, but realistically, it's just been such a one-sided affair. Yes, we saw that one map go knock each other again, and we saw that one map go in the favour of the Philippines. But realistically, Vikendi was only because they got such a nice position. They had that control of the hill, and the Indonesians were forced to go for such a one-sided crash. So there we go. Finally, the Indonesians shut them down. 4-1 in the end for Indonesia, and despite the fact that it wasn't actually 4-0, I think it was a really dominant performance.
I mean, yeah, you're right. I think it was just a mishap of one game. Philippines just had better positioning at the time, and they somehow managed to muster the strength that they did have. But Indonesia definitely just replied and completely annihilated them. Made an example of what happens when you kind of transgress them, and they really want to go forward to the finals and try what they can against Thailand.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that final because, yes, it was a 3-0 last time those two teams met, but it was a really close one. We had 2 games went down to, I think, the last 10 players on the server battling it out for the win. So I'm really excited, especially with what we've seen today. I think that Indonesia have shown the progress they made because it was 3-2 last time. It was a really close game between the two teams the last time Indonesia played Philippines. And this time, they looked so dominant. They looked like a really dangerous force here. So I'm coming into this final and I'm seeing Indonesia as a team that's progressed, that's been learning, that's improved on their game plan, can be up against, yes, Thailand could be the favourites, but I think it's going to be a really good final.
Yeah, I'm excited to see exactly what the outcome would be there, but it's just amazing to see the improvements that Indonesia have made since that first match that we saw against Thailand. Now, is it the improvements that they made, or was it just easy games for them, an easy competitor? But let's have a look at the brackets and see exactly how this entire Asian series has unfolded in front of your eyes. We saw right there Thailand versus Cambodia. Thailand taking that, then defeating Indonesia after Indonesia defeated Philippines quite convincingly, dropping them both to the lower bracket. Philippines winning that first game, but unable to do so, as we just seen against Indonesia. Indonesia convincingly securing their spots in the grand finals of the Asia finals against Thailand. 6th of June.
Next Saturday.
PM.
You know, I'm just...
The time.
I'm thinking, is there a caveat here where... Was it the Philippines playing badly, or was it the Indonesians playing well? Because I kind of feel like it was a bit of both. Right? We saw a lot of times... I mean, take that last game. If we just go off that last game, Philippines had the perfect route into the circle. They didn't take it. You know, they could have taken control of a lot of the center of the map. They didn't do it. They stayed in North George, or stayed in South George rather. So I kind of feel like on a couple games there was that little caveat of the Philippines making mistakes. You know, we go back to Sanok, where the Philippines were sending in the little groups in the gunfight. We go to Miramar, where they abandoned the center circle to go take a sort of front line that just didn't work out. So I'm curious how much of today was Indonesian dominance and how much was the Filipino strength. But I still think, even if you're looking at those little mistakes were made, the fact that Indonesia was able to punish it so effectively was really impressive to see. So I'm excited for next Saturday.
Yeah, indeed. It's amazing to see that in a Nations Royale, you really can't let your opponent have any sort of inches. Otherwise, if they're a team like Indonesia, if they're a team like Thailand, you give them an inch, they're going to take a meter if you do that. But yeah, we will be back Saturday. That is going to be the Asia finals, if I'm right. I can't do dates and stuff, but yeah, Saturday. So if you want to find out exactly which country is better, Thailand or Indonesia, do tune in and support your team nonetheless. But what an amazing end. Well, amazing, but what a wonderful set of games today. Definitely. Right, so that is all from us from today. I hope everyone enjoyed. Don't forget to tune in on Saturday, 6th of June. It's going to be Thailand versus Indonesia. Best of 7. Best of 7. It's vindication time. Indonesia, they lost the first time round. They're going to try and stick it to Thailand and say that was just a little mistake. And they're fired up and they're angry. We saw it in their playstyle. So nonetheless, with that, myself and Saint, we say adieu, goodbye, and we'll see you soon.
I've been feeling like a man out of time. I've been staring into space to get in tune. I've been waiting for the sand to fall behind. I've been looking for a face inside the moon. I've been looking for a faith to lead the faithless. Caught slipping trying to catch the speed of light. Every time I try to make a way out of my lateness, pulled over, got somebody reading me right. Cause we've been chasing after hours, counting minutes second hand, spending all of our tomorrows trying to come up with a plan. We don't call up information cause they don't know what we saying. No one knows, no one knows. We all woke up in our upside down, turning inside out like we've all been led astray. We've been standing on the outside in, trying to find our friends like we're all just castaways. Feel like we've been missing out. Falling overboard, catch me off the side. Or maybe you just missed it. When you close your eyes, life goes in an instant. One hell of a ride. If starts like roll it up in the dark like stutter steps last breath. Staring in the void, feeling paranoid, thinking if you fall, you won't make a noise. Off an opioid, man, you got a droid, at least you got a phone. Fucking humanoid, why you xenophobe? Why you so annoyed? Why you tripping out? Who made you devout? Why we go this route? Can you do without? If you look within, here we go again. Hands inside the vehicle, you mad cause it's autonomous. You thinking you anonymous, but we're upside down, turning inside out, like we've all been led astray. We've been standing on the outside in, trying to find our friends, like we're all just castaways. Feel like we've been missing out. Feel like we've been missing out. Feel like we've been missing out. Feel like we've been missing out.
Vai na fé, vai atrás do que você quer. Quem tá na missão sabe bem o que é. Gasta a sola do pé, nunca será em vão. Se correr pelo certo, não muda a direção. Quem tá na contramão vai bater de frente. Se colhe o que planta, escolha bem a semente. Cultiva aquilo que acredita. Se tem fé é a chance, ela é infinita. Irrita quem só reclama e por defeito. Todo errado se julga o ser humano perfeito. Mas perfeito ninguém é, nem nunca vai ser. Sem dar um migué, faz acontecer. Fazer por merecer é difícil quem faz. É mais fácil falar do que correr atrás. Se é capaz, mostra pra si mesmo primeiro. Depois conquista o mundo, mais nobre guerreiro. Você pode, você faz. Esse é o conceito de quem assume a responsa e bate no peito. Não basta ter fé, se não se movimenta, nem o teto se mantém sem o pilar que o sustenta. Tenta, até conseguir. Se a fé não remove a montanha, ela te ajuda a subir e progredir. A cada passo dado, evoluir, resistir o peso do fardo. O obrigado atrai tanta coisa pra agradecer. A vida dá um pensamento pra vencer. Enquanto só reclama, só chama mais problema. Deixa o mal fluido solto e o bom cheio de algema.
the way. So how come they not out my way? Guess opposites do attract. When you're positive, then negativity attacks. And I don't wanna catch nobody. But that don't pay me, sonny. Make hits, man, the way in a hit, man. Either way, if I beat it, still bloody. I don't like moves that are fun. So please don't go on like a clown. Please don't act like you're above me. Then I won't lay you down. Then I won't lay you out. Make me go on like a boxer. This curse ain't a gift. Well, that man's getting boxed up. All blessed if you mind yours. Only want a bird that soars. Every effect has a cause. Know when it rains, it pours. Man won't push out the chest. Pride make a dumb man flex. But take time to get test. You don't wanna make man vex. You don't wanna make man vex. You don't wanna make man vex. You don't wanna make man flex. Make man to fake the chest. You don't wanna make man vex. You don't wanna make man vex. You don't wanna make man flex. Make man to fake the chest. More time I'm calm, you don't wanna get me angry. Got a tool for the man who's screwed, don't make it come in handy. Everyone want be by the beach now, reach where the sun and it's sandy. But those who can't, they get hurt, then hate, then